Hey folks, it's Frithgar here, how you doing? Welcome back to Farming Simulator 19 here on Ravenport. We are going to carry straight on from where we left off in the last episode, so let's get to it. And if I bring you in around there like that, that's about the overlap I want, I think. Right. Okay, if I bring you up to there, let's lower you down in so that you actually start. No, I just pressed H. I've lowered it down into the soil, right? And it's done it like it's flat out refusing to cooperate. We've already lost some hired help. We've already fired a few people. Let's move on forward a bit. Right, now carry on. There. No independent thought required. Just do what you're told. That's all we want from you. No independent thoughts, please. Yeah, we can get that field. Well, we don't even need a Stevie one for that one, really, because it's like, I mean, it is a big field, but we can still start working on it. If we got that field, we can take a lot of it back and we can store it. And then, yeah, I'm liking this idea, right? That one there, that's our oats taken care of then. And then down here, we can plant wheat along with the other field. So let's buy this field up here. I'm going to buy that one right there. So I now own that field right there. And, okay, those, we've got the bits north of the road up there. We certainly wouldn't be incorporating those. I'm not going to buy either of these two yet. We'll leave those. We'll just go for that one big field down there. So let's go back over this way. You are wanting this one, and I can now plant wheat directly onto that field. But I'm going to wait for a bit and let the... What are you doing? Right, this is independent thought, right? It would appear that any of our drivers, that they struggle with the whole concept of independent thought. We're going to have to do a round or two around the outside of this one, I think. And then we're going to want to be ploughing around the edge. Well, no, we don't want to plough around the edge of our new field, do we? We want to go and combine that field. But our combine that we've got is a little bit too small for doing that field. So we want a new combine. Now, I am thinking a Stevie combine, but at the moment, I don't think I've actually got any of those mods active. Let me have a look a minute. I don't think I've got a Stevie combine, so rather than jumping out of the game and no, I don't. So we could just go with an idea. We haven't used any of these big combines, and we do have the money to be able to buy one. That one there has got a 14,500 litre tank. That one's got a 17,000 litre tank, which is pretty cool. That is pretty awesome. There is no denying that. So we've got a Fendt. We've got the Ideal 8T engine setup. I go there, the Ideal 9T, 647,000, 519,500. That's a Massey or a Fendt or a Challenger. I'm going to go with Fendt written on the side with the increased engine capacity. That's going to take it up to $520,000 to buy, and we're going to buy it outright like that. There we go. So we've now got a black Ideal Fendt combine. The only thing now is we can't afford the actual header, so what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to lease one. And so we've got the Draper 41st for the CR1090, and then that one, the Axial Flow. I got the John Deere there for the S790. Is it actually there? The Agco, that one. That's the one, the Ideal. That's the one that it's recommending. The Dynaflex right there. Oh, I see the difference between the two. That's like the Draper header, that one is. But that one there, that one you need a header trailer to be able to pull that one along. Right? Even though that is the header for the one that we've got, so we can have the design, you need a header trailer to be able to pull that one along. Like, in here. Whereas the other ones, what I really like about those is that you don't need a header trailer. So we've got that header trailer right there. There's quite a big type of header trailer. This There's a modded one, that one is, but it's oh no, no, it's also quite difficult to use, so we won't go with that one now. It's that one right there would be the one that we want, and we've got Fendt, so as we got Fendt name on the other stuff, we'll go with the Fendt Classic colour on there. If this, let's try this. I do prefer the Draper header, the one with the wheels where it turns itself into its own header, but just for once, I'm going to do it like this, purely because I want to be able to use this type of header. I want to be able to use the header that goes with the Agco one. And these over here, the Draper ones, 45 foot, 13.7 meters. And these two, well, these are both 12 meters. They're shorter. Oh. Well, I've just changed my mind then. They're 12 meters. These here, the CR1090, these are both 13.7 meters. Whereas this one down here is just 12 meters. Why are these so much shorter? They shouldn't be. I just decided I was going to get that, and now I've just realised what the length of it was. Okay, we will go with it. We'll go with the wider ones. We definitely want the wider ones, because we've got some fairly flat land there, I think. I mean, yeah, the field that we're working on at the moment with the big bud is probably better to have these. Maybe the shorter ones. What should we do? Do we go for the case? I don't know. Let's try the case one. We'll see what this is like a minute. Yes. Okay. I'll see what this is like, because it might not actually fit the combine very well. So let's just leave that one. And why? Why are you possibly complaining about that? I mean, I don't know why it does this. I don't know why it will go and it will turn around completely and it will get to that point and then it just sort of dances itself up and down. I've never really understood that. It's kind of this... I don't remember it doing that in FS17. It's only in this one that it seems to do that. And it's a very strange thing that it's doing. And I really have no idea why it's doing it. Right, so are we going to be needing this header trailer? The big question, well, we can easily find out because we bring this one around here and we see if this actually docks onto the front of this combine properly or not. Because if it doesn't, let's just try and straighten this up a little bit. There we go. Right. Does that fit? Right, I'm sort of looking in round. And... is that sitting on there like it should? I don't know. I don't see any PTO on there at all. Right? There should be a PTO on there. Let's try folding it up and see if that does anything. Right. We'll lower you down. It's running along. You know, it does seem like it's going to be okay. So we'll try it like this. We'll see what this one's like. We can always come back and we get the other one, but this one does seem like it's acceptable. So we'll get that one going there. And we'll run this one up to the field so that we can start the harvest. The reason I want to get this one harvesting is because then we can, once this is harvested, there, we get you onto there. Once this field is harvested, we'd then be able to start working on... right, where's the train? Okay, train's not coming for a bit. We'll then be able to start working on planting that field as well. So we can get that one planted, so we get all 3 fields planted at once. And then we can go back through later and we can combine again. If we want to, we can always get rid of this combine and we can replace it with a Stevie one that goes a little bit faster than this. That will be up to you guys. So tell me this week if you'd like me to replace this combine with a Stevie combine. Some of you I know really don't like the Stevie stuff, and some of you I know think that the Stevie stuff is perfectly acceptable. So I've already said last week I want you to talk about it a bit, but do it again this week. Give us your comments. Tell me what you think of it. Some of you really hate the idea of using Stevie mods, and it genuinely spoils the experience for you. Maybe try and explain why you really detest them that much. And those of you that really love them, try and explain why you really like them. Give us some fors and againsts on the whole thing to do with the Stevie mods. why do you really like the Stevie mods? What, you know, and consider them to be perfectly acceptable, legitimate forms of gameplay, and vice versa. Why do you absolutely detest them, and why is it, you know, it's sort of a deal breaker for you? Why do you really, really hate them that much? Now, I'm looking at this, and I am thinking that we don't want to be doing baling on all this. I think that baling up all of that straw, that's just going to take too long. I could, you know, if I was going to do the baling, I'd almost definitely want to use a Stevie baler with, like, the 8,000 litre bales instead of the normal bales. But at the same time, I don't want to do that either. I would rather just chop the straw and incorporate it into the ground and not bale it up at all, because we don't need to bale it. We've already got a whole load of stuff that we've baled, so I don't think that it's something that's needed in any way, shape or form. Let's bring that bad boy up round there, and I'm gonna run up the field up here a little bit. I'm not even gonna do once around the edge on this. I'm just gonna start it up here because we've still got planting that I'm trying to do down the other end. So we're just going to get this one started on here, up at this end, so that it starts going. Because we've got plenty of room all around this field for doing the turning and stuff like that. So I think that we'll be fine on that. And that's actually quite interesting. See how rough that ground is right there on the end? I wasn't actually expecting it to be like that. That is very rough ground right there. So it's quite interesting to note just how uneven the ground is on the edge there. That's going to affect our decision when it comes to doing planting. Well, not planting. Right, hang on a minute. Let me just stop that and press that one there, and then press H again. That's better. Right, now you come out round. But yeah, we would need to smooth the edge. We'll have to get the smoothing tool and run all up the edge of the field and level that out a bit before we went and got the plow to enlarge this field. Although I wasn't actually thinking to do any enlargement of the field until we get those two, and then we just join the three of them in together. So it's not like it's going to be a major concern of mine at the moment, but it is interesting to see just how rough it is along the edge. We knew that already that it was a little bit rough there. I just didn't fully appreciate how bad it was. But at least we've sort of got a bit of a notice on that now. Right, that one is going to take a little while to fill that tank, so we'll let that one go. We've seen lots of combining before. I want to carry on with the cultivating here anyway. We do want to get this done. If we do, well, I was thinking like twice. We'll go round this bit here and down the hill the other side, and then we'll turn around and we'll go back again, and then we should be able to just let the hired help carry on with the cultivating. We'll leave our Fendt tractor just where it is for a minute, and we won't concern ourselves with it, and we'll let the cultivator get a little bit ahead, and then we can go back and we can carry on with that one. Once we've set the cultivator going, we'll then go and get our lorry, our truck, and the helper E has completed their task. That is most likely the big bud, isn't it? Yeah. See the big bud doing anything at the moment. That ploughing up there is not really going very well, is it? We're going to need to do some... I think we'll take that plough back and we'll get something different. I like the idea of using a culti plough. Those are really good. But again, I much prefer using the Stevie one purely because of how much faster it is. I've always said I'm quite in favour of the Stevie mods, and I've always said before I was sort of really aware of Stevie mods, I've always been in favour of things that work a little bit faster than they do normally in a field, just because it speeds the process up, and it's not, because it doesn't feel like cheating to me, because I know some people don't like it because it feels like it feels like cheating to them, and they feel like they're you know, I don't like to use the word cheating because it implies that we're doing something wrong, and you're not actually doing anything wrong because it's a single player game that can be modified however you want. Technically, getting any mod at all is not how the devs originally intended the game, and therefore it's cheating. Any mod at all could be considered cheating. So all the Stevie mods are doing is just speeding up the bits that are a little bit tedious and time consuming. So as far as I'm concerned, I think that's a good thing. It eliminates some of the duller aspects of the gameplay, and it keeps things fresh and keeps things moving along, and that's kind of why I like them. But yeah, I can fully appreciate that some people just don't like the idea of them, and they like to do things the standard way, and that's absolutely fine as well. I've got no complaints to that whatsoever. So just bring that one in there. How are you blocked? Seriously, how can you tell me you're blocked by an object? Unless there's a tree stump down there somewhere, because it did go off over to the bank right there and did something a little bit funny. So that might be, although normally it just goes right out to the end, doesn't it? It doesn't normally have any issues there. It's normally just fine. Right, that one's going there. The big bud has not finished. We know that it is just lying to us. But what we can do is we can just start it up again, and we can lower it down right there onto that bit. Carry it on up a little bit further, and then press H so that it keeps going. Right, it will go on now, and it will at least get down the other end. It will turn around and it will come back before it decides. Well, it will probably stop again, but that's fine. We'll live with that. I want to go to this one, and I am going to go with... Right, let's drop that one down there. I was just wondering whether I should go with 2 trailers or not, and I am going to go with 2 trailers. I'm going to back you up there, and I'm going to bring this one along, and I'm going to put that one in front of that one there. And we'll hook that one in there. And then this trailer right here, this double trailer right here, it's not actually very far away from that combine. Oops, I didn't want to do that. I want to do that like that. There. The combine is just over the hill. I can just see it right over on the horizon over there. We can take this one over, and we might, just might, have enough capacity on board these 2 trailers right here to be able to get that entire harvest into just these 2 trailers. And we can take them back, and that is the horses taken care of for a very, 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 very long time. So then I think we will do wheat across everything. We'll stick with the same crop across all of the fields. So we'll have wheat down in the bottom one, because if we're getting a load of oats here, we don't need more oats for a long time, which means that we do just want the wheat. We're going to get that much wheat. We could go and we could get some more chicken farms as well. We can do that bit. And that might actually speed the profits up a little bit, so that we can get our ultimate goal of buying all of these fields here. And then we're doing wheat across these 2, and then we'd be able to do wheat. Well, I don't know. Maybe we do, but if we do like another crop, if we end up like doing a crop that goes across all the rest of the fields that we've got left, we could do barley across everything. Because we've got oats in here, and then we're going to do a wheat harvest, and then we can go along and do barley after that. I think that's what we could do. Right, this one's not got flashing beacons on or anything like that. Hopefully it will be able to unload without any issues whatsoever. The auger is a little bit short, but then you'd expect that because of the wider header than this combine is actually really meant for. Well, I don't know. I don't know if I know the header is shorter, but is it actually meant for that? So we got 7,600 litres on board, which means that one had 10,000 litres of spare capacity on board before it would have been full. So we can leave that combine just to carry on and do its thing for quite some time now, and we're not going to have to worry about it at all. The plough is turning back up on the headland again up there. So I'm going to stop that lorry right there. That one's now done. And I want to go... Right, you are... Let's just see what you're going to do a second. Drop down there. Right, yeah, it's going to do that craziness. So we'll just pull it forward a little bit like that. And then it's away without any trouble at all. See, I just don't understand it. Just don't understand it. Well, anyway, that one's away there. That one's doing fine. And then, who else have we got? This one here is doing absolutely grand. And yeah, 1,500 litres on board. It wasn't fertilised, this field, was it? So let's just have a look with the old soil composition. Doesn't need lime. It doesn't need ploughing. It's not fertilised. So that one there is going to need lime when we get to that one. But this one here doesn't need lime at all. We've got a tiny little bit there that needs lime, but that's like nothing. It's completely insignificant amount. So we can generally ignore that one. I mean, this one is getting through this. We've already done like a reasonable amount of the field. And looking at the scale of the field that's left, I think even a standard combine is going to get through this field reasonably quickly. Once we've got more land over this side, even if we don't go for the Stevie mods, well, one Stevie combine I think would be sufficient to do this field, or two standard combines like this. It'd be one or the other, I would say. That would sort of be my approach to it, I think. One Stevie combine would be sufficient, or we move to two of these right here. You're carrying on, and just wondering if I should start planting yet. I don't think I will. I'll leave this one to carry on a bit longer before we go to the planting. So then we come up here and we take a look at you. Yeah, so I'm not gonna, if I'm not gonna bother enlarging the outside edge of that field over there, then it's not something that we need to concern ourselves with. This bit here, I do find slightly annoying, the way that it screws that up like that. It just sort of scrunches it all up into a big ball. And I can sort of see why it's doing it, because the computer, it struggles to deal with a second turn point on it, and I don't think it looks like the programming is not there for it to even recognize it. It's just recognizing it's got one pivot point right there. And it's not recognizing the fact that there is another one back here. It's just not equipped to handle that at all. That would appear to be the reason behind it. So we won't worry about that. And I'm going to go... Oh, I know what we want to do. I'm just wondering if we should do that right now. We got a bit of wool right there. If we go over to here, we've got some water there. Actually, I can unload that little bit of water. I'll drop that in there. Because it was water for the sheep that they wanted. It was nothing else in particular. Water is the big thing. And then, yeah, we can put a bit of water in for the horses as well. They're low on water. The other stuff is like halfway down. So they've got a day or two on that. So if we go and get a little bit of water while all of our other stuff is busy working, we get a tanker load of water over here using the little Fiat. And bring that one in and start loading that up. So, I'm talking about the possibility of moving to this new map by Oxygen David. I think it's called Oakfield Farm, is it? I'm considering the possibility of moving there because that map would work well, I believe, with doing large-scale dairy. And that's what you want me to do next. That's what we're going to be doing on our next map. Large-scale dairy is kind of the aim. We've got a mountain of chickens here. We've seen that chickens work. We can go and we can get more chickens still, and I can set up some more chickens up round here like we originally talked about. But I'm getting the impression from people watching the series that is no longer particularly important to you, that I get more chickens like that, because we've already seen that chickens work on a large scale. We've already kind of worked through chickens on a large scale. And I'm getting a very strong impression from a lot of you that bit doesn't really matter. You want me to focus on buying the land and kind of wrapping things up here. Because we've done, like, we're well over 100 episodes now. And so this is the impression I'm getting. Tell me, correct me if I'm wrong. Get in the comment section and say, well, no, actually, Frith, that's not the case at all. We're quite happy for you to stay here for another 40-odd episodes, if that's what it takes. Get more chickens, still buy the land. And for goodness sake, don't go to this new Oxygen David map, because everybody else is already covering it, and we don't want to see you doing it as well. We want something different. So, Give me your thoughts and opinions, and I try to weigh up between the two. I know that there's going to be voices shouting for each side of this particular coin, but that doesn't necessarily mean that, like, there's no right and wrong in this, okay? There's no right and wrong in this. All I can do is really just go with what the majority of people seem to want. We've got set things that we do want to achieve on this map before we can go anywhere, so we're also working on trying to get through those. It's quite funny the way the fertilizer comes out on here with after the cultivating because of where the plants were on there. Well, there we go, folks. I'm afraid that's it. We've run out of time, which means that we need to head on home. So if you've enjoyed this episode, then please hit down below and give us a like. And if you really enjoyed it, then please tell your friends all about me. Get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. And until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar. Goodbye, and see you later.